Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm sure anything was a welcome improvement over the strange COVID happenings of this past season. But what was it like with training camp in Chicago? Did that work out well? Was it an inconvenience at all? And how much of an inconvenience will it be to start off the season on the road for a few weeks?
Well, I think the only inconvenience in Chicago was the traffic driving there. It was terrible some days, but no, kidding aside, I think the whole camp, if you even go back before that, doing our rookie tournament in Minnesota and then going right into, I think the 2 games, Minnesota was better than Traverse City. Guys came into camp fresh, not exhausted. And then just the way the camp was set up in Chicago, it was very competitive. 3 teams, a lot of bodies, but each kid did a great job and they pushed each other. So it was a real competitive camp. And then it was just nice to get some guys in a couple exhibition games this past week to see what they have and what they need to work on.
So the plan is you guys will continue to practice in Chicago, obviously, until the BMO is up and ready, right?
No, we're back here in Rockford now, and we practiced over at Riverview. So they kicked us out of Chicago. We tried to stay, but they wouldn't let us. But no, we're fine. Riverview has been great. The Park District, the rink's ready for us. Ice is good. Our ice slots, we got a couple hours that we can use. And today was our first day on the ice. We just did a skills day, but it went smooth, and we're looking forward to tomorrow.
Jay Thompson here, handing up your line is active.
Hey, Coach, welcome back. It's been a real busy couple of days. We've seen all these names kind of flowing in onto the IceHogs roster. Give me a quick take on what you feel, your initial look at that roster and the guys that you have. What is this team going to look like this year?
Well, I think we're going to have to be a good north to south type team. I think we're going to be we want to be a hard team to play against. Obviously, every team does, but some teams are more offensively gifted than other teams. Some play a run and gun, some trap it up. But I think we have some offense that we can put some pucks in the net. But I think to do that, we're going to have to play a nice north-south hockey game. And we have a lot of bodies. I got a lot of players that have some NHL experience. I got a lot of decisions to make and who's going to start the first game in GR. But I guess that's a good problem to have. They're good, all good players, all guys can play. So we'll just have to make it work.
You guys were so young this last season that you had. I remember looking through the numbers and I didn't even realize until afterwards. Is that carrying over as far as helping with the developing all those young guys and getting to see what you really had with those guys?
Yeah, the nice thing, and we talked about it last year, was even though we were so young, a lot of these guys are back, or if not most of them. So they already kind of know, they got their 30 games under their belt, how the system works, how we work here in Rockford and with the Hawks, and what we expect from them. And they know what to expect. So we're going to be young again. Obviously, with some guys clearing waivers and coming down to us, puts our average age up a little bit. But I don't know how long we'll have these guys, so we'll take advantage of them, and we'll go from there.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Patrick Williams is here, hand is up, your line is active.
Last year, it was difficult, given the circumstances, for teammates to kind of bond and get to know each other in a more traditional way. How much do you think that changes this year in terms of that? And what will that mean for these players in terms of their off-ice development?
Well, I just think, it's always like getting out, going out for dinner with the guys, your roommates when you're on the road, and doing some fun things away from the rink together. Being able to do that helps in that team bonding. So I am actually excited. I know we're not I don't think our home opener is till like first week of November or something like that, but I think it's great. If anything, it's probably a good time to do this to the rink here, refurbish it, get the ice up and running, all the improvements they've done over the summer. Because we get on the road and these guys it's almost forced to get out and not have us look after you. Get out with your roommate, go order some dinner. Maybe after a game, go out with family or friends or wherever you are and just do those things. And I think we missed out on that last year, like you said.
Thank you.
Greg Boyson, as your hand is up, your line is active.
Coach, one of the young guys that has a lot of fanfare that you've had a little bit of exposure to the last couple of weeks with a couple of preseason games and practices is Lucas Reichel. What have you seen out of him so far in the short time you've been able to work with him?
Well, he's a gifted player. He's got a lot of skill, a lot of upside. I think his thing is just going to be getting used to playing over here in the grind in the American League. I'd love to have him for the next 3 years, but I don't think that's going to happen. So we'll just kind of guide him along and get him used to that, the whole structure, the whole routine of being a pro hockey player in North America. You know, getting up in the morning, looking after yourself, eating right, the training, getting on a bus, playing 3 and 4 nights, all that things is going to help him tremendously. So when he does get the call, it'll be a cakewalk in the NHL.
Thanks, Coach.
Scott Lever, I see your hand is up. Your line is active.
Coach, as another young guy, your goaltender, Soderblom, obviously looked good in that opening preseason game. How ready is he for the AHL? How confident are you in him? Is he the front runner right now for the #1 goalie job?
Well, I can't make that decision if he's the #1, but I'll tell you this, he's ready. He's looked real good. He's showing well. He just oozes with confidence. And you would never know this is his first year playing over in North America. So he looks real good, real confident. And we're going to have some goalies here. Obviously, the big team has some goalie situations, but whoever we have, I feel confident. And like last year, just putting anybody in the net and we'll be fine.
We're also going to talk with 2 of your veterans, one of your captains coming back here in a bit, Stanton and Mitchell. Just again, how nice is it to have a couple of guys like that to lean on, especially at the start of the year?
Yeah, I think it's great. Obviously, Mitchie, I wanted back and he felt the same. And I think he does a great job as a leader like that. I mean, whether he has a C or an A on, but he's captain material, obviously. And Stanton, getting to know him over camp in the last few days here is just, he's going to be a huge help to our young D corps again. And this is what I think we needed. And I'm looking forward to working with them.
Thank you.
Jay Taft, I see your line, or your hand is back up. Your line is active.
Coach, just wanted to ask, is there a different message coming down from the Blackhawks filtering through you guys this year? Is it similar to what you've heard headed into a season in the past? I don't suppose that's changed because they now own you guys.
Not necessarily changed a whole lot. I think the situation is a good situation, having the abundance of players that can play for them. I think last year too was a big learning experience for a lot of these kids. So when they were called up, I don't think they were 100% ready, but they wanted to give these guys an opportunity to play. But you got some guys that cleared waivers that can easily step in and play on any NHL team. And the message is really just, don't waste your days here. Do all the little things. We're going to show you what to do, how to become a pro for the young guys and even the older guys that are down. Don't waste time down here. Play hard. And so when Jeremy or Stan ask us who's ready, we can give them not just one name, we can give them a bunch of names. So it's a good problem to have, and I'm looking forward to working with these kids.
Do your goals change as you get into this a little bit deeper? You've been doing this for a little while. And when you sit down and start to kind of see what you need to do or need to get to have a successful season, does that mindset change for you at all?
No, I'm trying not to. I mean, I'm not going to base it on wins and losses. We're going to develop, our staff's going to try to develop these players as best as we can. The guys that have played in the NHL that are down from waivers, we're going to try to make it fun for them and get them back to where they should be. But to us, and the message too from up top is just continue to do what we've been doing. I think we've done a good job with some of their players that are established, a little bit more established as NHLers now. And we'll just continue to do that the best we can. So if that's means putting a kid out last minute of the play that's never been out in the last minute of the play, I'm going to put him out so he gets a feel for how it is to play the last minute of a game. Or if it's a shootout and he's never taken a shootout in his life, well, I'm going to give him that opportunity. And I think that's a good way to, get these guys up and running.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Patrick Williams, your line is active.
Sure. Coach, you had mentioned
I just muted him. I apologize.
trying to get a sense of your goaltending for the season opener. Where do you kind of see the goaltending picture shaking out and going forward kind of the first couple weeks of the season?
Honestly, I couldn't. I wish I had an answer. I don't know what's going to happen. I've been, as a player, seen it, situations like this arise and see how things are dealt with, but I'm not sure. The guys have to either clear, they get picked up, they're traded, or what have you. Obviously, they also have a good problem. They got some goaltenders up there that can play. Would I like both of them? Sure, I'd love to have both of them, and that could help maybe our other young guys develop better. But like I said, whoever we have, we're gonna get a system in place where certain guys are playing at certain times and make sure everybody's getting their fair deal of ice and shots and some games in, and then we'll go from there. But I'm pretty confident with what we have right now too, so I'm not too worried about it.
And then Isaac Phillips, he looked so solid last season, stepping in as a young kid. What kind of growth have you seen from him, maybe coming in over the summer through camp and now going into this season?
Well, I think he's like took off just where he ended. He's still raw. There's a lot of work to be done. Could he give you a couple games up at the big club? I'm sure he could. He skates so well. I think he just has to hone it where the sometimes your first option is your best option. Everything moves a little quicker up at the next level. So his decision making, he's just got to improve that. But everybody does. It's not just him. But I like where he's at. I think this is going to be a huge year for him development wise. I think last year you saw how good he was, but he's on a young team that, we really had no choice of playing all these young guys. So they kind of got thrown in a fire. So it'll be interesting to see him this year when now we got a Stanton and Bose is back, who's going to eat up a lot of ice too. So, but I like where he's heading.
Thank you.